I had overcome it over the years.
I loved the Brooke Ellison story. I just thought it was an amazing movie. I read it and I begged him to let me be the mother, and he said, no, sorry, you can't. But she was just incredibly inspiring, and I think it was wonderful, you know, that Chris made that movie, and it was just beautifully acted too.
He was an artist in what he was doing and was so dedicated and so passionate, working incredible hours every day in ways that I think were really awe-inspiring to not only the crew, but, you know, to myself and to my family.
I really think the great legacy with Chris is that one person can make a difference. And so many people think problems are just too big and there's too much and I can't do it. And that was the message he would pound into people every time he talked to them and every time he talked to groups. You, one person, can make a difference, and it's really true.
He discovered an enormous strength, ability, and necessity. He said, I'm just so privileged. My wife stayed with me, I have beautiful children, and I have discovered that I can still direct and act and public speak and make a difference from a chair. And I couldn't do this if I wasn't famous. So he was just incredibly grateful for what he was able to do.
I kind of came to the conclusion that Chris ended up being a teacher. You know, he was dealt with the accident, and instead of wheeling away, he wheeled towards the podium. And that's kind of who Chris was. When it came to the work and when it came to the cause, he's the guy you want on your team.
I felt like a big sister looking at this kid, to looking up to him. That was my experience of Christopher, and really being amazed at his funeral, at his memorial, looking at this span of a life. And that's what matters in the end, what you do in the whole span of things. And his arc is pretty damn impressive.
Chris made people realize, you know what, I'm not any different than you are. And that was the big message he would give to the disabled. Go to restaurants, go to the movies, be out there, be in their faces. You'll make a difference, and he did.
You know, he strengthened that bond between those who face a physical disability and those who don't. You know, he made it much more human, and I'm thankful for that.
Wonderful acting does good in the world, but what Christopher Reeve did after that terrible accident was so much more than anything he was prepared to do in a career. And however sad I might feel that he didn't live longer, I think he used his life so beautifully, always, but most beautifully at the end.